Okay, let's dive in. We're going to pull back the curtain on the hidden psychology of your social media feed. We're talking about the deliberate, really manipulative choices and deep-seated psychological triggers that these apps use to keep you scrolling, whether you actually want to or not.
So let me start by asking you a really simple question. Have you ever stopped to wonder why the little notification bubbles on apps like Instagram or TikTok, the ones, why are they always red?
Yeah, you guessed it. It is 100% not an accident. Psychological studies have shown that we humans respond faster to the color red than any other color. Our brains are just hardwired to see red and think, danger, or pay attention to this right now. And that is exactly the knee-jerk reaction these apps are built to provoke.
Now, you've probably heard the reason for all of this boils down to one simple chemical, dopamine. But here's the thing. The common understanding of how that works is kind of a deception itself. The real story is way more calculated and, honestly, a lot more manipulative than you'd think.
You know the popular theory, right? You get a like, you get a comment, your brain squirts out a little bit of this reward chemical called dopamine, and you feel good. It seems pretty straightforward. The app just has to keep you feeling good to keep you coming back. But it's not that simple. Not at all.
The reality is so much deeper and, frankly, a bit more twisted than it seems on the surface. This isn't just about making you feel good, it's about hijacking a really fundamental, primal driver of our behavior.
And that brings us to the real engine of social media addiction. It has way less to do with the satisfaction you get from a reward and everything to do with the thrill of gambling.
So research from this neuroscientist, Dr. Robert Sapolsky, completely flipped the script. He discovered the crucial detail that almost everyone gets wrong. See, dopamine isn't just about the pleasure of getting a reward. Its real job is to drive our behavior by spiking in anticipation of a potential reward.
He proved this with this just brilliant experiment. He taught monkeys that when a light came on, they could pull a lever and get a treat. And their dopamine spiked when the light turned on. That's the anticipation, not when they actually got the treat. But here's the insane part. When he randomized the reward, so the treat only came 50% of the time, their dopamine levels doubled. The uncertainty made the whole thing irresistible. And this powerful mechanism has a name: variable intermittent reward.
And there it is. That's the key. Social media doesn't hook you by guaranteeing you'll see something good. It hooks you with the possibility that the next thing you see could be amazing. It turns your feed into a lottery. Maybe this next scroll, maybe this next refresh, maybe that's the one that's going to hit the jackpot.
I mean, just think about the pull to refresh motion on your phone. That wasn't just some random design choice. It was made to perfectly mimic pulling the lever on a slot machine. In both cases, you're performing this little physical action with a totally uncertain outcome, just hoping for a big win.
And you really can't underestimate how powerful this is. In your average casino, the slot machines, the purest form of this variable reward system, they bring in more than half of the entire casino's revenue. It is the perfect trap for human attention.
But the manipulation goes way beyond just that one slot machine mechanic. It's actually built into the very architecture of these apps, just like a casino is designed from the floor up to keep you inside and gambling.
When you walk through a casino, you'll almost never see clocks or windows. And the walkways, they're always these gently curving paths. Why? Because a sharp 90-degree corner is a decision point. It's a moment where your brain checks in, and you might decide, okay, I'm going to leave now. These curves are designed to keep you in a mindless, frictionless flow state.
Social media uses the exact same playbook. Infinite scroll is just a digital version of that curved walkway. There's no end in sight, no natural place to stop and think. Auto-playing videos, they remove the choice to even start watching. Everything is engineered to remove any friction and keep you in that mindless scrolling trance.
And we know these were deliberate choices. Get this, Ozzy Raskin, the guy who actually invented infinite scroll, has publicly apologized for creating it. He said he just thought he was making things a little easier to use. He now runs the Center for Humane Technology to fight against the very systems he helped create.
And look, if there was ever any doubt that this was all intentional, just listen to this confession. Sean Parker, the very first president of Facebook, he openly admitted they were building a social validation feedback loop by deliberately exploiting a vulnerability in human psychology. And his final words on it: "We understood this and we did it anyway."
So okay, that all sounds pretty bleak, right? Now that we understand the machine from the inside, what can we actually do about it? Because let's be real, these companies aren't going to change.
but you can take back control, just by understanding the system they built to trap you.
The solution, at its core, is actually pretty simple. If these platforms are designed to remove all the friction to keep you scrolling mindlessly, then the most powerful thing you can do is to consciously put a little bit of that friction back in yourself.
Here are a few simple, concrete things you can do right now. First, turn off every single notification that isn't from a real person trying to contact you. Second, go into the settings and turn off autoplay for videos. Third, use features like scheduled summaries to bundle all your notifications into maybe 1 or 2 batches per day. And finally, just move the apps off your home screen. That tiny extra effort of having to swipe and search for the app is often just enough friction to stop you from opening it out of pure habit.
So look, the goal here isn't necessarily to quit social media forever. It's about not being played. The hidden truth of social media is not that it connects us, it's that it was never really designed to. It was designed to keep us coming back. So now that you understand how the game is designed to work against you, the only question left is this: how will you choose to play?